rejected by your builders, which has proved to be the keystone. Whereas we have this morning taken from the Acts of the Apostles of Paul, verses 8 to 12. In the speech to the Jewish assembly, which we just read, taken from the Acts of the Apostles, the first chapter today, Peter talked about the stone, which was rejected by the builders, which later on proved to be the keystone. Generally speaking, stones are essential, indeed fundamental for building and for construction. Indeed, you can't build, you can't construct without stones. However, if the builders reject a particular stone, it means therefore that that stone has been judged or considered worthless or useless by the builders, of no use. Now, using the analogy of the stone and the builders, Peter reminded the Jews of how they treated Jesus Christ when he came to them as a savior. Instead of accepting and appreciating his person and his mission, they dismissed him, they rejected him, they wrote him off. But eventually at the end, that stone, Jesus Christ, which was rejected by the builders, the Jews, later on proved to be the keystone. But the question would be, why did the Jews reject Jesus? Why did they dismiss him? Why did they write him off? Why didn't they consider him somebody special? And also, in our human relationship also, we are sometimes in a haste to dismiss people, to write them off. Why? Looking at what happened to Jesus Christ, number one, we can say that the Jews wrote Jesus off because he was a Nazarene, because of where he came from, because of his tribe. Remember that instance in the Bible when Philip discovered Jesus Christ as the Messiah. Out of excitement, he ran back to his friend Nathanael and said to Nathanael, Nathanael, I have found the Messiah. He is from Nazareth. The moment that name was mentioned, that the father named Messiah, the expected Messiah, or that Jesus was from Nazareth, Nathanael said, Nazareth, that small village, can anything good come out of that place? So the fact that Jesus was a Nazarene was a factor that worked against him. He didn't come from that metropolitan city or great countryside. He came from a little village. And sometimes also in our human relationship, we tend to dismiss people or judge people by the fact that they are from this tribe or from this nationality. Sometimes we have this idea, this understanding, what I would call stereotype mentality, that people from this particular part of the world or the other part of the world, they are neither competent nor trustworthy. And therefore, anyone that comes from that tribe or from that nation or from that part of the world is already classified into that category. Because you are coming from that place, then we write the person off because of where he's coming from. Just like the Jews did to Jesus Christ because he was a Nazarene. Number two, the fact that the Jews wrote Jesus off because of his family background. In the Bible, we have instances where the Jews had to remind him that your father Joseph is a male carpenter, and that your mother Mary is nobody but a simple housewife. So, what is special about you that you're going to listen to? In the social stratification, you are a nobody. So, by the fact that you come from this family, by your father being a male carpenter, your mother not a very known woman, what is there that you have to offer? So they wrote it off. And sometimes also we write people off because of what we know about them, because of their past, or because of their economic situation or status. And sometimes we write them off as failures or incompetent because of some perceived weakness we see in them. Perceive, I say. And sometimes we write them off because of what other people told us about them, the comments of other people. We just have to say that Nathaniel is no good. So, in life, people might try to write you off. People might try to dismiss you. People might try to doubt your worth or doubt your strength or put to question your relevance. People might try to give you a talk. Indeed, it's entirely up to you to accept that or to prove them wrong, just as Jesus did. He refused to accept the fact that being from Nazareth or because his parents were going to pray to do, that will give him a definition. No, he said no. And that is why the Bible carefully used the word. The stone which the builders rejected he proved it to be teacher. On the other side, if we are among the people who prematurely write people off or dismiss people for whatever reason, let us also remember that we can never read a book correctly by its cover. We need to suspend premeditated judgments or the stereotype mentality we have about persons or whatever. Part of our duties in life as human beings living in a community is that we must assist one another to become the better versions of ourselves. But when we prematurely dismiss people or write them off, we deny them the opportunity to prove themselves. We deny them the opportunity to grow. We deny them the opportunity to develop. We deny them the opportunity to demonstrate their competence, their skills, and their talent, to prove to us, just as Jesus did, who they are. Sometimes what we see is not usually what we get. The Jews missed that lifetime opportunity of having a savior because they quickly dismissed him. And that is why in the Bible, Jesus went around doing miracles everywhere. But whenever he came to his own, they were like, we know you, this is not happening. And at one he said, a prophet is respected everywhere, but not in his own town. When I was a dean of studies in the seminary, in the high school, at that particular year, I was recruiting students into debate club. That is, students who will represent the school in the competition, or competitions with other schools, in essay writing, debate, or in other academic activities. So I was looking out to find smart and intelligent students who will become members of this club. I was still into that. On that particular day, one student got into my office and then volunteered to be in the group. I looked at him, I smiled, and I thanked him. And I said to him, I will get back to you if there are still openings. In all sincerity, at that moment, there were still openings. But when I looked at that young man, it didn't appear to me as a smart and intelligent student, because I was actually looking for those who look smart and those who appear to me as intelligent. So when he came to my office, I went in, I assessed him without asking him a question. I just told him, go, I will call him next, and then I dismissed him. But I was wrong. At the end of the academic year, that particular guy graduated as the best graduating student. And today he's a powerful IT person. But I was wrong. And I didn't give him an opportunity to prove to me if he was competent or not. I just looked at him and dismissed him and wrote him off. And I went about looking for those I think that can do it. But somebody came around, and because the way he was looking, perhaps, in life, people's worth, people's competence, people's relevance is not to be determined by how they look, by where they come from, or from their past life, or who are their parents. So dear friends today, Peter says to the people that the stone they rejected became the cornerstone. He proved himself and became the cornerstone. The name by which all people will be saved. So as your parish priest, I would like to encourage you. Do not allow anyone, under any circumstance, to prematurely dismiss you or write you off. Always find an opportunity to prove who you are and what you can do. I'm speaking directly now to the young ones who are here. Always remember that the stone which the builders reject and actually prove to be the keystone.